The hype surrounding Cyberpunk 2077 cannot be overstated. Obviously, everyone's looking forward to that September release date and seeing this incredible cyberpunk world that CD Projekt has been building for the past however many years finally come to life and for us to finally get our hands on it. But unfortunately, it would seem as though we are going to have to wait a little longer because Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed yet again. No! Joking aside, this is one of those games that's always been advertised as it's ready when it's ready. And so them delaying the game for the purposes of just adding an extra level of polish and just to make this the best version of the game possible, that's something that I can ultimately contend with and appreciate. And for those wondering what CD Projekt Red had to say about this, here's a statement from the official Cyberpunk Twitter page, which reads as follows. We have decided to move the launch of Cyberpunk 2077 from September 17th to November 19th. So that's an extra 2 months of development time that they're buying for themselves. Those of you who are familiar with the way we make games know that we won't ship something which is not ready. Ready when it's done is not just a phrase we say because it sounds right. It's something we live by even when we know we'll take heat for it. So that's one thing to say about CD Projekt Red. When they say it's ready when it's ready, they're not just saying that for PR, they're saying it because they mean it. And you can see that the proof is in the pudding. They are delaying as much as it takes to really bring out the best version of the game possible. And a lot of other companies would refuse to do that because they know that it's better PR to just release it right there and then. It's better for the investors to release the game right there and then and sell the games within a certain time period to maximize profits within a certain quarter, etc. With CD Projekt Red, it just feels like they care about the game and the quality and keeping the community happy and making sure that people really find the value when they spend that money on a title like Cyberpunk 2077. It really does feel like they're truly trying to just ship the best game they can. The statement continues, at the same time, we're fully aware that making such a decision costs us your trust, and trading trust for additional time is one of the hardest decisions a game developer can make. And despite we think it's the right decision for the game, we'd still like to apologize for making you wait longer. Our intention is to make Cyberpunk 2077 something that will stay with you for years to come. In the end, we hope you understand why we did what we did. The statement then proceeds to highlight the current state of Cyberpunk 2077's development. It reads right here, at the time we are writing these words, Cyberpunk 2077 is finished both content and gameplay-wise. The quests, the cutscenes, the skills and items, all the adventures Night City has to offer, it's all there. But with such an abundance of content and complex systems interweaving with each other, we need to properly go through everything, balance game mechanics, and fix a lot of bugs. A huge world means a huge number of things to iron out, and we will spend the additional time doing exactly that. It is June 18th as of the publishing of this video. The delay puts the release date at November 19th. That's almost exactly 5 months from now. That's 5 months that CD Projekt Red is dedicating to just polishing, to ensuring all of the pieces fit together well, that everything's ironed out, ensuring that all of the content work in tandem with each other in a smooth and polished and technically sound way. And honestly, yeah, I'm willing to wait. Now, there is a lot to look forward to this month. It reads right here, this week, journalists from all over the world are starting to independently play the game. We're eager and quite stressed to hear their opinions, as well as see your reactions when they publish their previews right after we air Night City Wire on the 25th of June. We hope this will satisfy some of your hunger for the game as we work to polish it for the November launch. Thank you, Marcin Iwinski, co-founder, and Adam Badowski, head of studio. So Night City Wire on June 25th is the Cyberpunk dedicated event that CD Projekt Red is streaming, and no doubt they're going to show a bunch of new gameplay, probably a new trailer, and really highlight what they're aiming for with this game and the improvements that have been made over the past year or so. And beyond that, they've got sections of the game that they believe is in a playable enough state where they're allowing journalists to get their hands on it, play the game and share their thoughts and opinions. All we have done so far is see the game in action, and it looks really fantastic, but at the end of the day, a game needs to be played in order to fully determine its quality and merits. So this is something to definitely look forward to. And the hope is that the footage that they show of Cyberpunk during Night City Wire and the impressions that are expressed by journalists who get their hands on the game, the hope is that all of that will be enough to make us a little more patient about the game. Hopefully we'll see something really mind-blowing that will make us understand why this is a game that needs to be delayed yet again from September to November. Now, this seems to have been a decision that was made pretty recently, because it was not long ago that Mikhail Nowakowski, Senior Vice President of Business Development at CD Projekt Red, said during an investor call on May 29th that, quote, "The release continues to be scheduled for September 17th, and the whole team is working really hard to deliver on that date. The final few months are always the biggest hurdle, so these are always the most crucial months, and we know that from our past experience. We have been there a couple times in the past, and of course, this is the first time we're doing that remotely, so we learn as we go, but that's as much as I can say." So this was roughly 3 weeks ago when CD Projekt Red expressed confidence that they'd be able to launch the game on September 17th. So something must have happened recently, or something must have been discovered that made CD Projekt Red out of the blue just kind of go, this is not enough time. We need just that extra 2 months to flesh out and polish out whatever it is that's causing them certain headaches with debugging the game and ensuring that it is in the most polished state possible. As for what the reaction has been to all of this, generally speaking, people have been supportive of CD Projekt Red and the delay, because they know ultimately CD Projekt Red just wants to make the best game. So scrolling down, you'll find a lot of love being expressed all around. People saying that, yes, it's disappointing, it sucks, but we understand, it's okay, because ultimately you guys really just want to put forth your best foot out there. And that's just something that's becoming more and more rare in the AAA landscape, with publishers wanting to just rush a game out there because ultimately it means investors will be happy. In that kind of landscape, it is refreshing to see a studio that knows it's going to get some flack for the delay, but ultimately they know it's what's best for the game, for the product, for the community, and just to ensure that people really feel like their purchase was worth it, and that when they purchase one of their games, they know they can expect quality. Delays suck, but we need more of this attitude of it's ready when it's ready, rather than it's ready when the investors want it to be ready. But alongside the more positive and understanding sentiments, there are those out there, like this individual saying, "I'm canceling my pre-order and never buying a game from your brand ever again. Enough is enough." That kind of response I just don't get. It's okay to be disappointed, because I understand that, there are people who plan out their schedule and, take some days off of work in a certain time frame in order to just play that game from start to finish, and just take that time off just to dedicate to that game. And so to have that delayed and have those plans foiled, I understand that can be upsetting. And, I'm not saying don't be disappointed. I'm just saying, some of the overreactions I've seen are way out there and make no sense, because at the end of the day, people will be more upset if they got their hands on the game and discovered that it woefully lacks in polish, that it's super buggy. That is more upsetting than having to wait another 2 months. You recall that Witcher 3 saw a similar pattern. The game saw a major delay, and then it was followed up by a shorter delay. And yes, it upset people, but at the end of the day, they took the time to make the game the best it could be, and they released the game, and it went on to sell millions and millions of copies and became one of the most renowned role-playing games ever created. And CD Projekt Red is just trying to push the boundaries yet again with Cyberpunk, and I can appreciate the sentiment that's being expressed here. I think this is all around just a very honest and upfront letter stating that we need this time. We know it's going to upset people. We know that we're trading trust for additional time, but at the end of the day, we know that what matters is that we ship the best game we can ship. And that really is the attitude that needs to be permeated across the games industry more, instead of this attitude of we just got to get the game out there. Because in the long term, the delay will ultimately serve you better. Even if delays result in short-term backlash, thinking long-term, if people have that great first impression when they play the game and put positive word of mouth out there, that's going to service you more than just releasing the game, because it would make people and investors happy in the short term, but might upset people in the long term when they realize that the game they're playing could have used a bit more time in the oven. So alas, yes, it kind of sucks. It is disappointing. Obviously, in an ideal world, we'd already have this game in our hands and we'd be enjoying the hell out of it. But, they've always said, as shown in this teaser trailer from back in 2013, coming when it's ready. And if it'll be ready in November, if that's what it takes to ultimately ship what is the ultimate ideal version of what looks to be the most ambitious title CD Projekt Red has created yet, what seems to be the most ambitious cyberpunk genre video game ever made, then hell yeah, I say go for it. There are plenty of games coming out between now and November. And so, yeah, I can wait. I'll once again quote Shigeru Miyamoto, a delayed game is eventually good, a rushed game will be forever bad. And if there's one game we definitely don't want to see be forever bad, it's Cyberpunk 2077. So, I wish the team the best of luck. The hope is that this delayed release date won't result in sustained extended crunch or anything of the sort. Hopefully CD Projekt Red will consider their employees and ensure that they're, working in a healthy work environment and lifestyle. And hopefully when the game does eventually launch, it's something that both the developers and the community can be proud of. Hopefully it'll be something we can rave about for years to come, just as we're doing with Witcher 3. But that's that, ladies and gentlemen. That's today's story. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on the delay and the statement that CD Projekt Red provided here about why they felt they needed to delay the game by an extra 2 months. Drop a comment below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.